I changed one small thing in my house and it set off a domino effect. It wasn't a makeover, just a few practical changes that made the place easier to live in. And the best part is none of it was expensive or complicated. It was mostly just moving things to where they actually belong. I'm not chasing perfection, I just want less friction. Because when stuff doesn't have a home, it just doesn't sit there. It turns into little piles, and those piles create mental noise. I notice it every time I walk past it. I notice it when I try to clean, and I really notice it when I'm tired and I want the house to feel easy, not just another job. Step one was grabbing some cheap drawers to go under the futon. Honestly, that's what kicked the whole thing off. I didn't buy furniture, I bought space. That area under the bed was just wasted, a big empty spot that you don't really think about, but using it for my clothes means they're right where I get changed and they're tucked out of the way instead of ending up on random spots. What I like about this is it feels natural. It's not a perfect system. It's just one I can actually keep up with. Because if putting things away takes effort, I tend not to do it every time. And it's easy, it actually happens. Once I sorted the bed area, it freed up space elsewhere. And that's when the domino effect started. I ended up freeing up 2 cubes in my TV cabinet where my clothes used to be, which gave me a few options. I decided to move my display pieces into that spot because it actually makes sense. And I like seeing them. They make me happy. It still feels like my place, but it's not clutter, it's contained. And the TV cabinet isn't jammed up anymore. It's just doing what it's meant to do without feeling cramped. I'm realizing less isn't a sacrifice, it's just space that actually works. When everything is packed in, it feels like you're always behind. Like the house is one small thing away from turning into a job. But when there's a bit of space, the whole place feels steadier. It's easier to keep on top of, and I don't have to think so hard just to move around the house. This part surprised me. Once I moved the display stuff, I could shift the 2x2 cube that was under the D&D photo, and honestly, the best upgrade was the empty space that it left behind. We're so used to filling every gap, but empty space is actually useful. It's easier to clean, easier to walk past, and the room feels bigger without me changing anything major. And it gives me a bit of buffer too. If I bring something into the house, I've got somewhere I can put it and sort it properly instead of ending up in piles on top of something else. I'm realizing less isn't a sacrifice, it's just space that actually works. When everything is packed in, it feels like you're always behind. Like the house is one small thing away from turning into a job. But when there's a bit of space, the whole place feels steadier. It's easier to keep on top of, and I don't have to think so hard just to move around the house. So with that cube free, I move it into the laundry and finally give my gear a proper home that doesn't feel all cluttered all the time. And this is where things started feeling properly organized. The homebrew stuff and bottles got a dedicated spot. The bulk cooking tools got their own spot in the kitchen cabinets that were already empty. And the random tools, the stuff that usually ended up dumped on a corner or just overflowed onto the shelves, went into crates that stacked neatly. This is the kind of storage I actually keep up with. It's visible enough that I remember what I've got, but it's contained so it doesn't look messy. This is the idea that keeps saving me. Containment beats perfection. If something has a container, it usually stays tidy. If it doesn't, it turns into a pile, even if I mean well. And doesn't need to be fancy. A cube, a drawer, a crate, anything with edges. Because edges set a limit. They show you where things go and where they stop. And the dominoes keep falling. The last domino was moving the big shelves I had in my laundry so I could put all my barbecue and gardening crates on it properly and have it organised. Before this, everything was stacked, so if I needed the bottom crate, I had to unstack half the pile, grab what I wanted, and then stack it all back up again. And to be honest, the last part didn't always happen. I'd end up using stuff for a while and the crates would just sit around everywhere. With the shelf outside, each crate has its own spot. It's easier to grab when I need it, and it's easier to put away straight away, which means the area stays tidy without me having to think about it. These are the 3 rules I'm using at the moment, and they're simple enough that I can actually stick to them. Rule 1, keep things neat and where they're used. If I have to walk to another room to put something away, it won't happen every time. Rule 2, give everything a container, drawer, cube, crates, doesn't matter. If it's contained, it's easier to keep tidy. And rule 3, let space pay rent. Empty space isn't wasted, it's a buffer. It stops the whole system falling over the second life gets busy. This isn't about having a nice looking house. It's about having an easier system. Small changes I actually notice every day. When I wake up, when I clean, and especially when I'm tired. That's what I want from my house. To support me in the background, not demand constant attention.